I want to talk about tides for a minute, and you can share because you spent 5 years on the sea.
A lot of seasickness.
Yeah.
A lot of throwing up.
We talked about how big the moon is and how important it is and the tilt is, but the other thing that's important about the moon, and the sun helps, are the tides. And because of the moon and where it is, its location and its distance and its size, it helps the ocean flow.
Yeah.
And that ocean brings nutrients because it's flowing. It brings nutrients to the organisms closer to the shore. It prevents the East Coast from freezing because those tides go from the equator up our East Coast. From the warm air goes that way. The cold air comes down our West Coast. So without those tides, our climate would not be stable.
Right.
The other thing it does, it's helped our sea turtles to bring in the moms to the shore. And when the tides go out, it helps the little babies go back.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Are you serious? Yeah, it
Fun?
is. It's creating a little ride for me.
Yeah. Yeah, in and out.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, we talked about marine mammals before. We talked about cetaceans.
Yeah.
And this is a marine mammal. It's called a fissiped. And a fissiped is the sea otters and polar bears. So they have webbed feet and digitized, their digits are separated.
Like.
Yeah, so they're separated. And a fissiped technically is an organism or a mammal that gets its food from the ocean. So sea otters and polar bears. Yeah. They're 4 feet.
They're 4 feet?
They're 4 feet.
I didn't know they were
they're
that big.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And 70 to 100 pounds. So they're big animals.
Oh my goodness.
And what's so fun about them, well, many things, is they use tools to eat, to open. Like they may take a rock and to break open a clam or rocks, and they teach their babies exactly how to feed. So you can have a lot of sea otters in one area because they have different their families have different techniques of feeding.
Whoa.
Yeah. And the moms are just real devoted to their babies, and they'll teach them to hunt, they'll teach them to how to feed, and so they eat 1/4 of their weight every day. You would have to eat 60 pounds of food a day.
That'd be crazy. You could not do that.
Sea otters are also something that's called a keystone species. So a keystone species means if the keystone species is healthy, then other organisms below it are healthy. And this has to do with the kelp. So the kelp that grows 2 feet a day, which is crazy, but it's like this apartment building for different organisms. So different fish at different levels feed off the kelp, some hide in the kelp, and you've got these urchins, which the sea otters love, and this is what's so important about the sea otter. The sea otters love to eat the sea urchins, which keeps the kelp healthy. And another thing important about kelp and sea otters is the mom wraps the baby around the kelp while she goes hunting.
What?
Yeah, and when they sleep at night, they wrap themselves in the kelp so they don't go out to sea.
What?
So kelp is so important for their survival, but here's the thing, when the sea otter populations go down, the sea urchin populations go up, and they eat up all of the kelp.
Oh my gosh.
And they have some things called a kelp barren. In other words, there's no kelp because of those sea urchins.
Oh.
So our precious little sea otters are important to the ecosystem.
Wow.
Yeah. Another thing about sea otters that's unique to any marine mammal is that they don't have any blubber. So they have 1 million hairs per square inch on their body.
Oh my gosh.
And they have to keep it fluffed up and keep the air bubbles in there. So it's the only sea mammal without blubber, and it would be, if without that, it would freeze to death. You, on average, have 100,000 hairs on your total head, and they have 1 million per square inch. That's why around the 1930s, prior to that, about the 1900s, they thought that all the southern sea otters they didn't exist anymore. They were extinct because hunters would kill them for that fur.
It's a nice fur.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
1 million per square inch.
1 million hairs per square inch. And then in the 1930s, someone just happened to discover a raft of sea otters, and one thing led to another, and now we have a fairly healthy population of sea otters.
God's Cool Creation, Epic Earth. It's a book. It's got a lot of information that you learned today, and we'd love it if you went and bought it. It's $10 on Amazon. The information's below on how to get access to it, and all of my mom's books are great. And we want you to have a blessed day, and yeah, we'll see you next time.